since the lockdown and communication blackout of the people in Indian-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Voices from around the world continue to condemn the inhuman oppression of the people of Jammu and Kashmir. In its recent statement, the Human Rights Watch called upon India to lift internet restrictions in Indian-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, while underscoring that restricting access to the internet violates multiple rights and can be deadly during a health crisis such as the COVID-19 pandemic. Amnesty International India has also urged the Government of India to release all those arbitrarily detained and restore full internet access. The Foreign Minister, Shah Mahmood Qureshi, in his most recent letter to the President of the UN Security Council and the UN Secretary General, highlighted the danger to the health and safety of hundreds of Kashmiri leaders, youth, and civil society members incarcerated by India in crowded prisons, and the urgent need for India to lift all restrictions, allow unfettered supply of goods and medicines, and release all prisoners. Pakistan strongly condemns and rejects the latest Indian action aimed at illegally changing the demographic structure of the Indian-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. The so-called Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Order 2020 is another illegal step by India to settle non-Kashmiris in the Indian-occupied Jammu and Kashmir by changing the domicile laws. This is a clear violation of international law, including the Fourth Geneva Convention. The Kashmiris in the Indian-occupied Jammu and Kashmir have outrightly rejected the new law as unacceptable. It is indeed a blatant usurpation of their fundamental rights and an attempt to change the demography and their identity. Pakistan has consistently sensitized the international community about the BJP government's design for demographic change in Indian-occupied Jammu and Kashmir in order to perpetuate India's illegal occupation of the disputed territory against the wishes and aspirations of the Kashmiri people. The United Nations and the international community must take immediate cognizance of this illegal Indian action and prevent India from changing the demography of the occupied territory and hold it accountable for the persistent violation of international law. In recent days, the Prime Minister Imran Khan has called for debt relief for developing countries to enable them to direct resources to saving precious human lives and shoring up economies against the economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Foreign Minister Qureshi also wrote to his European counterparts and the EU High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, underscoring the need to relieve the debt burden of developing countries and enable them to stem the economic decline. In recent days, the Foreign Minister exchanged views on the Prime Minister's initiative with his counterparts from Canada, Spain, France, Italy, the UK, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Nepal, Maldives, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Bhutan, as well as spoke to the Secretary General of OIC and the EU High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy. The initiative has resonated globally. The EU Foreign Affairs Ministers' video conference of 23rd March discussed how to step up international cooperation and solidarity in order to support the most fragile countries. The IMF and the World Bank issued a joint statement on 25th March 2020 concerning debt relief. The virtual G20 summit, hosted by Saudi Arabia on 26th March, reaffirmed the G20's commitment to address debt vulnerabilities. The UN Secretary General has also called for maximum financial and technical support for the most vulnerable people and countries. Pakistan welcomes these endorsements as steps in the right direction and hopes that they would culminate in concrete steps at the earliest possible. In the wake of the COVID-19 outbreak and as part of the national effort under the leadership of the Prime Minister and the direction of the Foreign Minister, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and its missions abroad have reached out to our overseas communities, providing them with relief and assistance wherever required. In order to develop a comprehensive and uniform strategy for a phased repatriation of stranded Pakistanis in different countries, 3 high-level meetings have been held in the Foreign Office under the chairmanship of the Foreign Minister, which were attended by Federal Minister for Aviation, the Special Assistant to Prime Minister for Health, National Security, as well as overseas Pakistanis, and representatives from NDMA, NIH, PIA, civil aviation, and other relevant stakeholders. So far, the government has repatriated our stranded nationals from Qatar, Dubai, Saudi Arabia, and Thailand. Plans for repatriation from Istanbul, Kuala Lumpur, Tashkent, Baku, Baghdad, London, and Toronto have also been finalized. Details of their flight schedules will be announced by PIA, while plans for repatriation of our nationals from other destinations is also under active consideration. As this is a dynamic and evolving situation, these plans will be reviewed regularly. In response to the launch of the Prime Minister's COVID-19 Pandemic Relief Fund 2020, all Pakistan missions abroad have been advised to sensitize and encourage our overseas communities, as well as donors and philanthropic organizations, towards this relief effort. Regular and real-time exchange of information, coordination of relief assistance from abroad, as well as with line ministries in Pakistan, is being carried out round the clock through our Crisis Management Unit team in the Foreign Office and our focal persons across over 100 missions abroad. Last Saturday, a special aircraft from China brought relief assistance to Pakistan, which included 12,000 test kits, 300,000 masks, 10,000 protective units. In addition to this, an 8-member medical expert team also arrived in Islamabad from China. The medical team will be in Pakistan for 2 weeks and will also visit Lahore and Karachi. Moreover, the Chinese government has also provided support worth US $4 million for a separate hospital for coronavirus patients. In addition to this, private organizations in China, such as the Alibaba Foundation and the Jack Ma Foundation, have also donated 50,000 test kits and 50 million face masks to Pakistan. Another special flight reached Islamabad early this morning from Beijing and brought in relief assistance worth almost US $3 million from various Chinese organizations, which was coordinated by our missions in China. This relief assistance included personal protective equipment, ventilators, face masks, and essential test kits. We deeply appreciate the help and support of our neighbor and iron brother in this critical time. Our continued collaboration to fight this pandemic is once again a testimony to our all-weather strategic cooperative partnership. I thank you very much, and as per the practice, responses to all your questions will be uploaded on our website shortly.